started so well. We got the early goal, and especially against a team like Burnley, who are hard to break down. Historically, we've struggled to break them down. To get an early goal, you think, right, great. You've broken them down early. We've got the advantage. We'll go and score 3 or 4 like we did against West Brom. And then from about minute 6 or 7, it just went to pot. I don't know. Let's start with the goal because it was a good team goal. Willian got another assist. Aubameyang scored, get his confidence up. It was bright. It was a good start. And with the team we picked, I was sceptical again. You think Chambers' first game since December 2019? Willian starts again. He's been in good form, but you'd rather see someone else in there. Saka, Odegaard. It was a real mixture of players. What did you make of the initial lineup? Because I was shocked to see Chambers playing. I don't know if you lot were as well. I know, Ben, we spoke about it on Thursday about what do we do with Chambers. It's not expecting him to play today.
It was, I didn't expect him to play, but I could definitely see the logic behind him playing. He's the tallest fullback we've got, playing quite simply. And Burnley are the most physical side in the league. It was. I think I said it at the start of the season as well. When people were talking about which game to drop Saliba into. People were like, "Oh, is he going to start against Burnley?" And I thought, if he's going to start against Burnley, and the problem is his aerial dominance, then there's just serious questions to be asked. But I thought Chambers was all right. To be fair, didn't see anything wrong with it. It was unexpected, but it wasn't one of those where I was like, oh. So I thought the lineup was perfectly good enough to get the job done. Quite frankly, it should have been good enough to get the job done.
It really should have. And bright start. Aubameyang's got another goal. I think he's top goal scorer. I think 13, 14 goals this season now. Another Willian assist, and we thought this would be. I mean, plain sailing. You'd expect with that team an early goal, almost knock the confidence out of them, and I just don't know what happened. We didn't. It's not like we struggled to create chances. We got into almost the right positions, but again, it's that age-old question of early in the season of November time, that final ball almost.
Yeah, the thing is though, as you said, the early goal. Thought, oh yeah, here we go. Look at this. The goal itself was fantastic. Start from the back. The Xhaka and the Partey link up, and that ball from Partey to Willian was brilliant. And then obviously the Aubameyang goal. And then after that, I thought, oh, it's gonna be a breeze now. And then we created those chances, missed that Saka miss. And then I think who had the other chance? Was it Aubameyang had the other chance, didn't he?
He fell over.
Yeah. It was those 2 chances, and then I thought it's just going to come and bite us on the arse.
The Saka one was similar to the one he had against Wolves. Do you remember in the first minute?
Yeah.
When Partey played him in behind, and he just literally he cut across it and hit the post, and it was just literally that.
Saka had 2 chances today. Like you said, he had that one, and then he had the other one where Bang slotted him through, and you just thought, you hit it first time, you took another touch, it was too heavy, cut it back for Odegaard, didn't really work. And then I've never liked Arsenal playing out from the back. You look back to the FA Cup run, and we did it against Man City, and I thought, God, like, give it away. You've got Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, like, anyone can hit you. We got away with it. We scored. Same thing against Chelsea. And then we just we did it, and we nearly paid for it. And sort of Leonard got it away, or Tierney cleared it out and just punted it. And then that Burnley goal was just an absolute disaster class from start to finish. I don't know whether you can blame Arteta for coaching them to play defensively, no, play out from the back. But
I disagree completely.
Or do you sort of blame Xhaka for being? I mean, do you want to be an absolute idiot and just if you're going to play the pass, or just boot it out. You're in danger, and you cut it across the face of goal into a dangerous striker who all he has to do is stand there. He didn't even. It's not like the Eddie Nketiah goal against Saints last season, I think it was, where there was a mistake and then we got through, and it was up to Eddie to do it. It was literally just stand still. Any one of us, if we were Chris Wood, would have scored. And then you're just like, oh God. And it's mistakes cost us, both from us and the officials. So
Josh, you just want to let it all out, mate? Do you want to just let it all out, mate? Just go for it.
In fairness, I will say I don't think obviously it's a terrible pass from Xhaka, but I just think it's terrible gamesmanship.
Yeah.
The 43 minutes into the game from Leno. Leno's right. So Xhaka's coming to the ball, right? He's got 3 players around him. He can be calling for the ball all he wants. If I'm the goalie and I know there's 2 minutes left in the half, I can see there are 3 players on Xhaka. I'm not passing to Xhaka, no matter how good I think he is. He could be Lionel Messi in tight spaces. I'm not passing to him. But this is the problem, though. I think Arsenal. You see it a lot with Arteta literally dictating every pass. Arsenal are so very, very rigidly coached at the moment because we don't know how to play any other way at the moment. Every pass is, I must do this. I must look for this run. There's no individuality and there's no accountability, I don't think. I think if Leno puts that long, looking at if you pull out the image from I think BT did after the game, it's 3-on-3. Yeah. Like Burnley have gone man to man at the top, and then there's a load of space. If Aubameyang wins the knockdown, for example, not saying he will, but if he wins, there's so much space. I'm not saying he will, but I'm saying like it's so much more sensible to at times just to go long. You see, one of Manchester City's biggest assets is the ability Edison has to just play it 70 yards down the pitch and find someone. Like we don't have that, but we can just go long.
We started playing it long throughout the whole game, and then the point where we should be playing it long, we didn't. It's just typical, isn't it? It's just so typical.
I saw Josh. I don't know if you remember when we I wasn't on the podcast, but when you did a podcast with Jake and the Burnley writer for the Athletic, you're talking about what are Arsenal doing at the moment because we're struggling to create chances, and you were saying like just crosses in the box is what we're doing, and then the Burnley writer from the Athletic was just saying Arsenal can do that all day they want. Tarkowski and Ben Mee will just header them out and out and out, and effectively that's what they did because everything that went into the box, Aubameyang's not winning a header against some 6'7" guy. Like they're genuinely giants. Tarkowski's massive. Like their striker Chris Wood is an absolute monster. Like he's huge. Like as in. And like they're genuinely more like rugby players than football players. Like they play rugby football like Stoke used to play in the Premier League, and it's just like no other team does it like Burnley in the Premier League. And regarding the goal, the funny thing about the goal was my internet connection dropped out as the ball came to Xhaka and he passed it, and I was just like, he passed the ball. And literally, as it was about to hit Wood, my internet cut out. So I was like, no. Spent about 5 minutes working it out. And then it's like the halftime show, the BT Sport panel. And I'm like, what happened? Look at the score, 1-1. And see the goal back. I honestly wanted to just throw something at the TV because like, it's so frustrating to concede like that when you work so hard, you create so many chances. And then we just can't finish them. Our problem this season has been not creating enough chances or not being able to finish the massive chances we create. And Saka just once again, for all the good he's done this season, has had 2 very important chances, which unfortunately he hasn't been able to finish. And I'm not putting any weight on his shoulders. He's a young lad. He's going to get better. But it's just 2 key moments. If he puts them away, it changes the game completely.
I think, I don't know, in fairness, I think you can say everything from Arsenal has been a bit iffy this season. You know, defensively we've been, you know, we've got a good defensive record, but that's because we're not getting beat, you know, 3-1, 4-1. We're getting beat 1-0, 2-1, and it's just silly mistakes every time. Whether it be from David Luiz getting sucked out in the Wolves game, whether he has a penalty and red card or not, it's irrelevant really. He made the decision. Whether it's, you know, Leno handballing outside his box, whether it's Xhaka doing that, whether it's Pepe getting sent off, you can point to all of these moments in games where we've either drawn or lost and look at them and gone, that literally is just so stupid. It's so brain dead. And I think another one today was, I just think, for me, Leno has to go long there. If that's my goalie, I'm saying go long. Doesn't matter where I am, go long.
Can I just say that I think Leno was our best player today. He kept us in that game. Like
that save.
I'd say he was the man of the match because he kept us in that game. And I think we defended quite well as well. Apart from the chance Chris Wood had when the ball was put through to him and Leno made that save. Where I mean, Chris Wood should have scored that.
Yeah.
Because David Luiz got drawn out, but I think Marianne Luiz defended quite well today.
As you said, Dan, you said about obviously defending well and try and get down the wings to cross it into players in the box who we just know aren't going to win it. But when we tried to switch it up and go for the middle, we were so slow. We were so slow at building up. Like first 20 minutes where we had those chances, so quick. We moved the ball quickly in between the lines, creating those chances that weren't taken. But then as soon as the half went on, especially into the second half as well, after we conceded, we were so slow to break them down. And that's where we fouled in the second half, because we were so slow to move the ball around, to, build up a chance. Players like Xhaka in the midfield, obviously lost his, head dropped at half time. So, head down, stop starting, backwards and sideways. And those two, Partey and Xhaka, need to work well. Those two, they are probably the most important players in that side. Because our game plan is built from the back, create chances that way. If those two aren't performing together well, one of them's not on their game, like today, we're not going to create those chances and we're not going to break teams like Burnley down.
Partey was a bit disappointing today as well, I thought. I think Xhaka, apart from his moment, I don't think he played awfully, but I think Partey had quite a lot of misplaced passes and he had his moments, but I think by his high standards, he had a poor game today.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was still head and shoulders one of the better players on the pitch.
Yeah.
But I think it's certainly fair to say that he tired towards, especially in the second half. I think him being much more leggy was a huge issue when it came to us progressing the ball, because he just wasn't quite getting to the right places where he needed to be to progress the ball as quickly as he had in the first half. I think hopefully he plays 90 minutes against Olympiacos. Hopefully the 70, 75 minutes he got today will be enough.
Oh, I forgot we're playing Olympiacos. Oh no. We've got that
flying to Athens on Wednesday, is it?
Yeah, we've
Tuesday,
got
Wednesday?
Olympiacos.
That's to look forward to as well.
Olympiacos, West Ham, our next 4 games. Like you were saying, Burnley did it well. I mean, they knew what we wanted to do. That's why their pitch was in an atrocious condition. And I think something needs to be like, I don't want to say investigate Burnley for match fixing or dodginess, but you're a Premier League team. Your pitch shouldn't be that shit. No. I'm sorry, but
it was almost like you expected to find dog poo on the corner flag or something.
I played on the Sunday League pitch is better than that. But once we got the ball on the floor, and like Aubameyang, if you get the ball on the floor, you're going to beat Tarkowski and me 98% of the time. And that's what he did. He got it. He got past him and he drove his shot low. Pope should have saved it, but it was still a great goal. Like you said, we're not going to beat them aerially. And that's why our corner, Willian's corner was useless, cleared straight away by Tarkowski. And it's just stuff like that. And it's knowing your opponent, and they're gonna press you. Chris Wood is gonna press you because he likes those tap-ins, and that's the sort of striker he is. He's a poacher. So that game plan of clearing out, playing from the back and waiting right until they're there, and then trying to get it out, cost us today.
I think we still did enough to beat Burnley. Like Mikel Arteta, I don't think the tactics were awful. I think we still had the right players on the pitch and enough tactically that we should be beating Burnley. And I mean, if that moment doesn't happen from Xhaka, we're walking away from here saying 1-0 result. We've ground that out. But I mean, unfortunately, at the end of the day, we didn't. But
I mean,
tactically, it's just another one of those ones we need to move on. Luck, we should have had a penalty, yes. But at the end of the day, we should have finished our chances.
But also, let's be fair. All those people saying Arteta out for that result, it's a joke. It's a joke. Arteta got it right today. We created chances. We created good enough chances to win. The substitutions I thought were all right. And then when you ask, why is Arteta out? Oh, he picked the players, didn't he, that made the mistakes. Who are you going to pick in midfield if not Xhaka and Partey? You pick Ceballos, he makes 2 mistakes against Benfica. You pick El Neni, you lose any sort of progressive option. He's only got those 4 midfielders, and Partey's been on one leg for most of the season. Let's be fair to the guy.
Yeah, it was down to the players today, wasn't it?
Yeah, Well, it was down to one error, really, from two players.
Yeah.
That's what cost us. I mean, you could say Saka should have finished better, but he's not a natural striker. Is it like he's not like? I'm saying he can be coached on that. He's still 19. He can be coached on his finishing. It's almost like a Theo Walcott sort of thing that he wants to score goals. He wants to be in those positions, but you need to coach that into him to be able to do it.
That's a great comparison. That might get clipped.
But he's a winger that has the ability to score goals and scores the occasional goal, but coach into that natural finishing into him, and he'll do a lot better. I mean, Arteta, you can't fault him for that. Like you said, tactics, not spot on, but he did the right things against the opponent. Team selection was the best it could have been if you were resting players, and substitutions made sense. It's not a Martinelli sort of game, really. Like, I would have loved to have seen him, but
the kid hasn't played football.
Yeah, you can understand why he hasn't come in. But so there's lots of things you could say.